Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have such a special guest with me. She is my spiritual mama. She is a spiritual master. She is a master intuitive, the prosperity oracle. You go by so many names, which I want to hear about in a second. Lisa Lajoie, is here, and we are Valentine's Day, so I really wanted to talk a little bit about relationships today. But first, Lisa, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what makes the work that you do so special?
Sure. So, about myself, I was born with the gift of being able to see things and have figured a way out to make it of service to people to help them connect to their higher self, to the aspects of them that need to be brought into the world. And I've been able to turn my gift into the practice of coaching people to make transformations as well. So I have a couple of lines of work that I do, but the basis that I'm a spiritual teacher and a transform agent, where I really want to help people to be able to ignite themselves and understand their purpose and understand what to do and when to do it and how to do it so that they can serve the life that they're really meant to serve.
You've done a ton of work with me, and we've been working
Mhm.
together for about 7 years, and you've helped me in many areas. And it's been really cool to see the evolution from you helping me out of a crisis in my life. And now, the point where my life has changed so much that we actually lead retreats together. You come into my teacher training, we work together. So
Mhm.
our Morocco retreat is going to be, it's coming up. It's March 23rd to 30th, which I'll link down below. However, today is Valentine's Day, so what I want to talk about is relationships, and
Mhm.
you certainly helped me with mine. So, when you met me, I was in some relationships that it wasn't bad people; they just weren't right for me, and I found that I was in the same patterns over and over, attracting the same kind of guys. So, for all my single viewers out there for Valentine's Day, I want to know, what advice do you give to attract differently?
So there's a couple of primary things that people need to do. The first thing is to identify what you're believing and what you're experiencing, which is allowing you to be in relationships that don't serve your heart and serve, your true desire for love. Oftentimes people want what they want, but they don't even know how to show up to what they want. So you have to be really have, and we did this too, you have to have a real honest viewpoint of your truth around who you are, and can you really say yes to what you say you want? Because oftentimes people are saying, I want this kind of person, I want that kind of relationship, and then they meet totally opposite and they say, well, let me just work out this potential here because I see it may be possible, and they settle for less, and that throws them off completely. And then the person that they really need to meet is like lingering around, but they're not going to be able to see you because you don't claim the position of authority around what you say that you want. And so the first thing is to take a true look. Are you really able to receive what you say that you want? That's the first thing. Second thing, what are you doing to say no to what you don't want and say yes to what you do want? And to truly understand, you can't take someone's potential and turn it into anything. When you're really in alignment with someone, your vibe and their vibe comes together and there's a match. So if your viewpoint is, I'm going to meet somebody and then turn them into what I want, that's exactly what you're going to find, right?
Totally right. So we
Mhm.
get attracted to the potential, especially I know a lot of women that feel like they they see the potential and they want to be able to fix that person instead of attracting
Yes.
already right for them. And
Yep.
I remember you telling me that if you were in a room full of, and just for the argument's sake of this example, we'll say a room full of men, I wouldn't necessarily attract the person that I wanted. I would attract the person that I think I deserve.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's totally true. And so what'll happen is you're going to align with uh, you're going to end up just being with people that you want to fix their potential, that you want to, you think you have to figure it out instead of just matching with what you actually need and want and being the woman who could attract that. Because a person that is in a place of alignment sends out a signal that says, I'm here and I don't settle for less, and here's my boundaries. And the opposite sex or the same sex, whichever you prefer, is looking for a mate, they're energetically matching up with whatever you are, and you're matching up with whatever they are, and there's no coincidences. And we have to own that as people. We have to own that. We have to say, I'm matching up with what I'm willing to accept. and I'm matching up to my standards. That's what's happening. Otherwise, I wouldn't say yes to that which I say I don't want. So oftentimes people end up matching up with, what they don't want, because they believe they really can't have what they do want, and that's it. It's very, very simple. So then they're in conflict, and then they don't know what to do, and then they've locked themselves into a relationship, and then they're in a relationship what doesn't make them happy, and they're connected to the wrong things, and then they're miserable, and then they're blaming themselves. Oh, and then the self-worth falls to the ground, instead of understanding, well, I'm not willing to say fully yes to what I really want. I'm not the person who could attract that yet. Let me work on that. And as I work on that and start saying no to what I really don't want, just no to it, because I'm like, oh, no, you're not really a match. Then you start saying yes to what you do want. And then you become very attractive to the man or the woman who is looking for somebody just like you.
I did a whole lot of work on myself with you, and I did attract differently. And now I'm in a relationship with a guy that I absolutely adore, and he adores me. I'm very, very happy. It's a very different kind of relationship than the kinds that I was attracting before. So I can say firsthand that this is actually true, that you have to work on your own vibration. You have to do the work in order to attract and feel like you deserve what it is that you want to attract.
Completely, yeah.
So once you're in a relationship, for those that are in relationships, what is one of the biggest mistakes that people make?
We believe we can change people. That is the greatest fault that humanity has when it comes to love, is we think we can turn somebody into something instead of just, letting them be exactly where they are. And if we, want something more, the greatest act of love you can do is not trying to make somebody be something that they're not ready to be. And we often do that. We think, that believing in someone's potential is love. It's not. What real love is accepting somebody exactly where they are. And if they want to rise, you're a supportive factor in their life for them to rise. You're not trying to change them and tell them they're not okay the way they are because they don't suit you and they don't work with you and they don't understand you. And once people get into that complaining and blaming atmosphere in love, the other person just doesn't want to be there anymore. And oftentimes people aren't really honest. They don't say, well, I love your potential, but I don't really like you. You know what I mean? Or I think you have a long way to go before you're ready for someone like me. Or, why don't you figure that out? And then let's meet again later on. They don't have conversations about values, integrity, and what people stand for. They just feel what they feel. And then they believe the feelings of excitement around somebody. They don't get to know them. They're in a rush. They move in too quickly. And then all of a sudden they're like, well, I don't know why this isn't working. Well, it's not working because your intentions from day one were really on the wrong side of things. You know what I mean? So if you step into integrity, honesty, love, and your approach is, I want to meet somebody that I can love just the way they are right away. You know what I mean? Everything changes for you.
Isn't that what we want for ourselves? Don't we just want to meet someone who will love us for who we are, quirks and all,
Yeah, of course.
And nobody's perfect, but there is such thing as matches that are perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The other thing too is you have to know someone's skill set. Period. Like you can't just meet somebody who's never had a long-term relationship and expect them to understand a long-term relationship. You can't meet somebody who wants to be free, liberated, has been a Casanova, or who's always been out there playing the field and expect them to just understand commitment. Right. You have to be fair. Like, why would we even want to be with somebody that we have to ask to change? If they're not coming to us going, you have mesmerized my life and made me want to be a man I've never been before, or a woman I've never been before, and I completely embrace that. I'm going to own it. I'm going to be responsible for what you've ignited in me from my love for you and this experience. And I want you to stay out of it. I want to become the person that I'm meant to be now because you inspired that. Now you're talking. You're dealing with somebody who wants to own their potential. Your love has ignited something in them, and they're willing to go down the journey, but they're owning the journey. You're not trying to convince them and show them what a pretty thing you could have and how nice it would be. And they're like going to decide whether or not they want it. I mean, that's a horrible place to sit, to wait for somebody to hope that they're going to choose what you've shown them, how beautiful it could be between you. It's a lot of stress and a lot of insecurity that gets generated. The other thing is you have to have your own worth in your own hands and you have to be in control of it. That's it. You have to be connected to our sense of self that says, I know who I am, and these are my standards, and they're not negotiable. I'm not negotiating my feelings for you. I'm not negotiating who I am for you. I'm willing to grow. These are my terms and conditions of my life, who I am. And if we fit, it's because we're in sync around those topics. And I don't want you to change for me, and I don't want to have to change everything about me so you can feel happy. I want us to just really have respect and integrity from these values and these standards. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it goes with that change comes from within. Like you cannot change someone, as you've been saying this whole interview. Once you're in a relationship with someone and it is going well, are there any tips that you have for keeping the intimacy in your relationship and that bond in your relationship as a couple?
Oh, for sure. I mean, to me, the most important thing two people can ever do in a relationship is remember who they are by asking, how are you? What do you need? What can I give you? How's your day? What's your experience? What are you trying to become? What are your goals? Like, I mean, regularly, not like I just did it once and we don't talk anymore. Being engaged in the vulnerability of intimate conversations. The greatest question you could ever ask your mate is, what do you need? How's your, and how's your life going? How are your goals going? How is your life doing? Not just like, how are you, but how is your life doing? It creates an intimacy that's, huge. The other thing is before the night ends, always express gratitude and appreciation. Every day, make sure that you say thank you. And you say, I appreciate you for these things, even if it's one thing, or I appreciate, just seeing you tonight. Or, here's what I'm grateful for about who you are, and do it every day. And even if it's once in the day, make sure that you're always connecting to the positive experience of the relationship. There's so much more than that, but that's very, very, very important if you want to keep the vulnerability and love going.
Oh, I love that. And you can make that a ritual. Like that could be a nighttime ritual if you live with your partner, that you could just say to each other, maybe 5 things you're grateful for about the other person and current things, right? Not just like the same things over and over.
Absolutely. One of the exercises I can give you just to give people something to do if people are open, that both people are open, is you sit before bed or just a little bit before bed and you sit together face to face, you put your hand on each other's heart, and then you do appreciation and gratitude. You take and it could be 2-3 minutes. It doesn't have to be a big, long, just 2-3 minutes, standing, sitting, hand on the heart, eye contact. I appreciate these things about you. And you mean so much to me because of this. This is what I'm feeling. Because it gives you a chance to remember, and it gives them a chance to really hear. And it ignites the love. It ignites the beautiful passion that's living there.
That is wonderful. So I hope that everyone who's watching, whether it's Valentine's Day or not, if you are in a relationship, this is something you can try. That's definitely something that I want to start doing. I mean, Jeff and I, we express our gratitude just about every day, but to make it a formal practice is even more special. And it's like almost like a little treat to look forward to at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So much our mind tends to focus on the negative, right? Like it's there to protect us and keep us safe. So it tends to be critical. So we can focus in on the heart and really remember all those good qualities and dwell in gratitude. I can just see how that would deepen your intimacy, deepen your bond.
And you can leave little Post-it notes if you don't see each other, if you don't have a chance to do it under the pillow, like the appreciation you experience, anything. It's really important. These little moments make everything much richer, much richer.
Lots of little things add up. Now, I just wanted to end off by saying, well, you have a YouTube channel, which I'll link down below that people can subscribe to. Remember to subscribe to my channel as well. And you and I, as I mentioned at the beginning of the interview, are leading a retreat in Morocco. This is going to be our 3rd year in a row, and we love it there. It is so gorgeous, and the people are amazing. The food is amazing. And I wondered if you could just maybe say 1 or 2 things about what it is that you add to this retreat. For sure. Yeah, for sure. So this year, the retreat is called the Reconnection Retreat because, when Mel and I spoke about what we wanted to do, we wanted people to understand, like, in this busy world we live in now, you need to remember your connection. So part of the work that I'm going to do there, and I'm encouraging, especially because it's Valentine, I'm encouraging couples to come because it's a very beautiful experience. The environment is romantic and sacred. The textures, the smells, the rooms are
sexy as all that.
So sexy.
They're gorgeous.
Red and
It's
voluptuous and
amazing. The workshops that we offer, and Mel doing her yoga every day, and the excursions, it's such a beautiful place to reignite your love if you're looking for that, whether it's with yourself, within yourself, or with somebody that you really care for. Get yourself out of the hustle and bustle and come back to the place where sanctuary lives, which is inside. So the whole, what I'm going to offer at the retreat with some surprises are really workshops around engaging with the connection of all the pieces of you. So your mind, your body, your spirit, and how to do that. And the coolest thing that I have to tell everybody is whenever we do these retreats together, Mel, you always create an environment based on what I'm also going to be teaching, which accentuates everything even more deeply in the meditation practices that you create and the yoga practices that you create. So we tag team to really enhance the experience together. And, people walk away with a lot. They really do. And, we've had wonderful feedback around it. And I love it anyway. So we have such a good time. I can't wait to see Rafi. I don't even know why. I'm so excited to see that dog. I was so excited when I saw the pictures.
We have a little dog that comes and does yoga with us in the morning. We have our own beautiful structure built just after our first retreat. The owner was so inspired by our retreat that he built another structure within the riad with a fireplace where we could go and practice yoga by the fire in the morning. And it's a really special time. People are saying it was one of the best experiences of their life. And so to encourage couples to come, we have a promo code you can purchase online at happytreeyoga.com. The link is below. And if you put in the promo code Valentine's Day, all lowercase, two of you together, so a double occupancy with a couple will be $150 off. So that's our gift to you for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
So thank you so much, Lisa. I think that what you told us was so valuable, and I hope that people got a lot of value out of this and understand that it's all about raising your own vibration, accepting people for who they are, not trying to change or fix, and focusing on what we're grateful for in our relationships, and really wanting the best for the person, not on a superficial level, but really the best for their life so that they can grow into the best version of themselves within your relationship, and then everybody thrives.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for that. And I'll be linking your YouTube and your website and everything down below for people who are.
Thank you. It's been great to be here. And, please come to the retreat. You're going to love it.
Love it.
If this calls to you, just do it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of fun, by the way. Should I mention that? How ridiculous I get?
So goofy, honestly.
It's weird. I'm really, 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 really inappropriate.
That's another one of your names, Inappropriate Luminary.
Yes, that's right. You guys named me that. Awesome.
We have so much fun. It's really relaxed, and we do deep work, and we have fun at the same time. And
absolutely. Yeah.
So thank you all, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you, Lisa.
Welcome. Bye, sweetheart. Bye, everybody.
Bye.